So, hey Facebook, what's up? I need to go in here real quick and share this post out. So, hey Facebook, I need to actually share it out to a group that I manage right here. Alright, so I'm going to share it to these guys. This is a gift for you guys, really. So this is literally a gift for you and a gift for me at the same time. So this is a gift for both of us. So it's a gift for you and it's a gift for me. So we both now essentially are getting a gift. So the gift that you're going to get, I'm going to talk about. And the gift that I'm actually going to get is this video. So the gift that I'm getting is this video. The gift that you're getting is what I'm going to give you in this video. Because in this video, I need to actually create these videos anyways because I got to talk about this stuff. So I'm taking the time to talk about it. And while I'm talking about it, obviously I'm going to get the video, which is the thing that I need. You're going to get what I'm going to give in this video. So what I'm going to give in this video is an explanation of what the free roam policy is. All right. So the free roam policy, I'm going to put some numbers on the board to help quantify it here in a second. But essentially what the free roam policy is I run a software engineering firm. So that's my job. I founded a company. I run a software engineering firm. I've got right now 32 developers full-time on staff. And I've got an additional 5 support staff on top of that support those developers. All right. So essentially, this right here is, let's say, our current model. This is not a free roam policy, as you can see, because I've got developers in here, right? I'm not a great drawer. This is a short developer. This is a short, fat developer. All right. Now, he is not in a free roam policy. He is in a constricted policy, meaning I've got some clients and they give us some work and we actually just do that work. So most of my clients are other software engineering firms. So that explains most of my clients. Most of my clients are other software engineering firms who what they do is they hire me and they hire my company and we go in and we do their work. So that's what we do for them. So we work in this constraint right here. All right. So what I'm actually trying to do is eliminate this constraint and put my developers into, like I said, what I call a free roam policy, where I can have that same little short fat developer and he can be in a free roam policy and he's basically allowed now to use his brain and come up with his own projects, his own things that he's actually passionate about and his own things that he actually wants to work on, and he can work in that and not be actually constrained by these clients' work. Right now what's happening in our company is that how we make all our revenue, like I said, is I have these developers and I have 32 of these developers full-time on staff that work for my company. All right. Now on top of that, like I said, I've got 5 support staff that go in and give support, managerial support to these 32 full-time engineers. And they're working in this constraint right now. So like I said, they're working in a constraint where my clients, that most of my clients, 70% of my clients are other software firms, and they hire these developers from me and they just put them to work. They get them busy and they say, hey, you need to do this stuff. So they're working in these constraints because they're telling them, hey, here's the things that you need to do. Here's all your work. Now, this guy is never as productive as he could be if he's not actually working on what he's passionate about and what he wants to work on. So I know if I want to basically increase this covariant X, which X we say a maximum standard is 85%. This is the most occupied that we could actually keep a person. All right. So the most occupied that we could keep a person is 85%. Now, this developer that's working in this constraints, he is not actually going to reach this optimal, this level. Now, we'd love if we could reach 1, but just due to the fact that we have people that work for us, and we deal with humans can never reach an occupancy of 1. They can never be this actual productive because there is always some waste. So this is our new optimal. All right. So in order to actually reach this efficiency, this guy really can't be constrained with somebody telling him, hey, here's the things that you want to do. Because he actually does not want to fucking do those things. Okay? Those are not the things that he actually wants to do. Now, he does those things, and he's going to continue to do those things because he needs a job, he wants some employment. So, and that's how typical employment works. People will offer you a job, and they pay you to work inside that box. All right? So, in the free roam policy, we're going to take this guy and get him out of this box. We're going to let this guy think about technologies that he wants to work on. We're going to let him think about problems that he wants to solve. And then we're going to let him plan these things and come up with an actual plan to work in some technology and solve some problems. Something that he is coming up with. These are his ideals, all right? So he's passionate about these. He's coming up with these. These are his ideals. These are what he wants to do. So ultimately, this is what will lead to him achieving this rate, him achieving this optimal rate, all right? Now, in order for me to actually achieve this, what I need to do is from my perspective, I need to get rid of these clients because these fucking clients are literally the guys that are constraining these developers and put them into, let's say, what's called a closed roam, okay? This is a closed roam. They do have some room to roam around, but they've got these fences where the amount of space that they actually get to roam around in isn't that much because these clients are telling them, look, here's the shits that you have to do. Now, you do those, let's say, however you want in some process. I give you some leniency and some liberty to make your own decisions, do your own thinking and stuff like that. But ultimately, I am applying a set of constraints on you. All right. Now, to get this guy over here in this free roam policy, where basically, like I said, he gets to do this. He gets to think about his own technologies that he works on. He gets to actually think about his own problems that he wants to solve in business. And he gets to actually evaluate a plan, which then these 5 support people can basically sit over top of here and look down at this plan and evaluate this plan's viability for marketability and profitability. Okay. So as long as those conditions are met, this guy can now go off into his free roam policy and he can implement these things. He can do these things. He's passionate about this. This is his ideals. This is what he's actually wanting to do. So he's ultimately going to reach this efficiency much closer because he's not in this constraint. Now, like I said, for me to do that, what I need to do is I need to eliminate these clients that are putting in these constraints. Well, the only problem that I have with that is these clients right now are giving us this revenue. All right. So they're actually paying the bills so that we can employ these 32 people. All right. So if I want to get rid of these clients that are giving me this revenue, somehow I've got to replace this revenue. So how do I replace this revenue? All right. So essentially in the free roam policy, what I'm essentially looking for is I'm looking to get this magic number, okay? Because this is essentially, this number right here is essentially my running cost plus some expansion. So my actual operational cost. This is my cost. Now, a lot of people tell me that I shouldn't really expose my cost, and that's not information that I should be giving out. But I'm going to go ahead and expose this, all right? So this $25K right here is the monthly operational cost for me to employ these 32 production level engineers plus these 5 managerial overhead and support people. All right. So in order to employ these guys, in order to give them an office, internet connection, the benefits that they get, their lunch, their coffee, et cetera, in order to actually employ them, my cost to produce units are this. $25,000 a month is what it costs me to run this company. Now, I want to add on top of that a 5K padding to go in and actually, we're moving offices this month. So literally, well, not this month, in January. So in January, and I can't remember what date it is. I have to go to the bathroom and check the bathroom because I wrote it in the bathroom. So I didn't write it in the bathroom. I think it's 1/15/18 is actually our move date, is what I actually think that's our actual move date. All right. Don't know because somebody else manages that shit for me, but I believe that's the date. So we're moving to an office. We're moving from basically a 1,300 square feet office to a 3,400 square feet office. So now I've got some additional costs there. Essentially what's happening is I'm going from an $85K a month rent to a $126K per month rent for the increase in there. All right. So I've got some increase there, and I also have a plan to bring in 2 more senior level guys and 4 more college grads. So this is a fresher level guy. This is a senior level guy. These guys need 6 months from me, 6 months of my time in training to get these guys to a junior level, and then probably another 6 months to 12 months to get them where they can compete here at an actual senior level of an engineer. So I want to go in and add these additional staff support, which is ultimately going to take this number here and turn this number into a 38. Now I can do all that with this target number right here. So with this 30K, what I can do with this 30K is I can employ these 38 production level resources, these 38 engineers, and I can also employ these five people who are the managerial overhead and the support staff for these guys right here. And then I can also go in and realize this. I can go in and actually recuperate the extra expenditure that I have in expanding offices, okay? So from my perspective, in order to do that, the easiest entry for me is I need to find these 300 people. Now, I need to find these 300 people who technically what they have is an arbitrage excess of capital. All right? So do you understand what an arbitrage excess of capital is? So essentially, what is an arbitrage excess of capital? I need you to have an extra $100 a month that you don't fucking care about. That's what an arbitrage excess of capital is. I need you to have this $100 a month that if you give this to me and receive absolutely no value for this, it does not bother you. It does not hurt you. Now, are you going to give me this every month and receive no value from me? Absolutely not. You're going to receive much more value than that $100. You're going to receive a lot more value than that. But the ideal person that I'm looking for is not somebody who needs to receive a value for their $100. I'm looking for the ideal person who has the additional $100 as an arbitrage extra money that if they just throw it on the ground and, every month they were just to throw $100 on the ground, it is not going to financially hurt them. Okay? Now, I am going to financially help you and I am going to provide you plenty of value for that $100 a month, but I don't want a type of person who needs the value. I'm specifically looking for 300 people who don't actually need the value, and that $100 is really just insignificant to them. It's not going to financially burden them whatsoever. All right? So those 300 people are going to provide this $100 a month, which will essentially give me that. All right? Now, for this value, what am I going to give you for this value to make up for it? So what I'm going to give you for this value to make up for it, to give you that value, is I'm going to give you access to 3 of our softwares that are really powerful softwares, okay? One software costs $149 a month, and I've got users paying this much, okay? Ankita90 wants to join my video for some reason. So, seems like my Gee wants to join my video. So this is one software. Got another software. This software costs $299 a month. I'm also going to give you access to this software. And I got another software that costs $97 a month. I'm going to give you access to that software as well. So you're going to get access to all 3 of these softwares. Okay? And we're also going to get into a contractual agreement that says during the time frame in which you give me this $100 a month. So during this time frame, whatever time frame you choose to give me this $100 a month, okay? You're going to choose to give me this $100 a month right here. And during this process, while you're paying this arbitrage fee of $100, you are going to equally own this much percentage of all of our softwares, all of these softwares that we currently have, which we have more than 3 softwares. We just don't market any of these softwares, okay? So I do have revenue coming in from each of these softwares from actual users, okay? So what you're going to get in excess to this value for your $100, in excess to unlimited access to all of these softwares, so you're going to get all of these softwares for this $100. What you're also going to get is you're going to get this, all right? And I'm going to talk about this. I'm also going to give you access to my training class, which is an awesome training class, and it's also $97 a month. And I've got like 113 people that are paying that $97 a month, and then I've got the same training program before I actually raise the price there to I think 76 people. All right, so I'm going to give you full access to this training program. All the content that these guys are getting for this 97 or 47, I'm going to include in this value here. I'm going to give you all this. And like I said, I'm also going to give you this. Now, what is this? Now, this is the share ownership that you have, because I'm looking for these 300 people right here who are going to give me this $100. Now, when they give me this $100, like I said, I'm going to give them access to all these softwares. I'm going to give them access to all the content from this training program that other people are happily paying for. And I'm also, since these 300 people giving me this $100 is going to give me this residual income that I need to now be able to implement this policy right here, this free roam policy, I'm going to give you this ownership. All right. So I'm going to give you 1 over 301. Here's the 300 people. Here's that additional one person. So it's going to be me plus these guys plus you 300 people. And we are all going to share equally in everything that these guys create. So now we've got these 38 engineers on staff. All right. So what we do is we calculate a 7-day average. Okay. So we're going to say we got 7 days or 7 hours of production every day. We've got, what is that? 38 guys. We got 20 hours. All right. So let's just ask our trusty friend, the calculator, what that could actually be. All right. What is that value? 7 times 38 times 20. This value ends up being 5,320 hours. Now we could essentially, if you wanted to, we could essentially divide that by 301 and say that essentially every month that you pay, you're going to get 17 hours of a software engineer to do whatever you want in addition to this. Okay? If you don't want to consume these hours, because I really don't want you to consume these hours, because if you consume these hours, essentially what you're doing if you consume these hours is you're putting this guy back in the box. So I'm not really implementing this free roam policy because I'm allowing you to take these 17 hours and then go in and put some constraints on my engineer and tell my engineer, you need to build this. I want you to build this. What I'd much rather do is you not consume these hours right here and you consume this. This being ownership, you would get this percentage of ownership to all of these softwares. You have access to use them, but you also get this percentage ownership to all these softwares, which means you get to share in the revenue of all these softwares. Now, what are these guys going to be doing? Well, what are we going to do with 5,320 hours worth of development? Let's multiply that again by 12, okay? That was 5,320 hours times 12, because this is months. We got 63,840. So 63,840. So what are we going to do with all this? Well, this is 1 year of production that we kick out of this company. In 1 year of this company, of running this company, we can produce 63,000 hours of software development. So what are we going to do with these 63,000 hours of fucking software development? We're going to go back and we're going to build a bunch more softwares like this. So we're going to build a bunch more very cool, useful softwares. All of these softwares you will automatically get access to. So every new software that we create, you will automatically get complete unlimited access in this plan. And like I said, you'll also get this. You will also get this share 1 over 301. So these 300 people plus me are going to go into this pool, and we are now all going to equally share in all of the revenue that is coming from these softwares. Now that is going to be on a contract, and as long as you pay this $100, you're going to continue to have this share value of all of the softwares that we can create. Now, like I said, you can imagine that we're going to go in here and we are going to add many more softwares to this list because we've got 63,000 hours worth of production. I mean, we're doing 5,320 hours every month. Okay. Now, the typical month, 5,320 hours. The typical month we calculate at 140 hours. Okay. So that means every month, essentially, we're doing 38 months worth of software development. So we're doing over 3 years worth of software development every single month. So that you can assume that we're going to launch at least 6 softwares in the next year. And every single one of those softwares can come from ideals from these 300 people that are going to be positively reinforced with these guys, and these guys are going to pick and say, fuck yeah, I really like that. I want to work on I want to work on that project with this particular technology. They're going to go off and build it. We're going to add that to our repertoire. Like I said, not only will you get full unlimited access to all these new softwares because you're one of these 300 people, you are also going to own this percentage of the software and get of all of our softwares that are owned by our company and get the actual revenue share coming from those softwares. So that is my free roam policy. Hopefully you're understanding now what essentially is my free roam policy. I've told you what the benefits that you get. They're really, really great benefits. I've told you essentially who I'm looking for, okay? I'm not looking for somebody that $100 is going to financially hurt them. So if $100 is going to be a large amount of money for you and you're going to feel that, you're not the person that I'm looking for to help me implement this free roam policy, okay? Now, I am going to give you way more than $300 worth of value, and we will contractually define the terms in the agreement of the actual revenue share and your percentage of ownership in all of the softwares and all of the revenues that are generated from these softwares, all right? So you're going to get much, much more value than your investment. But I am not looking for somebody who $100 is literally going to hurt them financially. I don't want that type of person. I want the type of person who can take a $100 bill out of their wallet, throw it on the ground, piss on it, and walk away and never think twice about it. There's a lot of you guys that exist out there that would not necessarily do that because you value the money. But the value of the money, if you didn't have that $100, it would not physically hurt you. It would not put you under any undue burden, all right? So I'm looking for you 300 people, and I'm going to give you a very, very huge value. So if you're one of those people, you let me know. If you're not one of those people, and you know one of those people, or you know 300 of those people, then definitely let me know about that. Because like I said, you're going to get a huge value, and you're going to help me accomplish a huge dream that I have for this company. And trust me, you will see that if you did that, and if I can get those 300 people to actually do that over the course of the next year, I mean, if you look at our softwares, I'll just show you some of our softwares. Okay, this is one of them here. This is one of them here. He uses this Stripe account right here. All right, he uses this text in bulk Stripe account right here. Just today, this guy made $149 just today. Okay, that's one of the softwares. He made $149 in that software today. Here's another software. This software also made today $141. All right, let's look at the payments. You can see the actual payments that are coming in here. All of these are residual recurring payments. Let's look at this other guy, how much he actually made today. He made $4,000 today. All right. So this is one of those softwares. This is another one of those softwares. Here's even another one of these softwares. And we will continue to make, even I have more softwares that I'm not even showing you, all right, that you'll have access to. These are our most popular, which is why these are the ones we're talking about, because these are the most popular, and these are the ones that we actually have users coming in and paying us a residual monthly fee for using those softwares. So you got my proposition. It's a very, very valuable proposition. If $100 is a financial burden to you, then no problem. You're not the actual type of person that I'm looking for anyways in the first place. The person that I'm actually looking for is the guy who the $100 is not actually going to benefit. I.e., I'm not looking for those guys down there, especially not those guys over over there. So not looking for those guys down there. I'm looking for I'm looking for more of these guys up here, and I just need 300 of you guys. And if I can get 300 of you guys to actually support me and support what I've done here over the last 2 years, which is with my own blood, sweat, and tear, start from literally absolutely nothing to build a company that now today employs 36 people is what we employ today. 37 people is what we actually employ today. And with your help and your support, then I can move that up to whatever this is, which looks like 43 people. I can expand out to a 3,400 square foot office so I can hire even more people as well as needed. Okay, I could completely cut my clients out of the loop and not even do work for clients anymore, or I could still maintain work for clients and still work for clients and then have a limited amount of people in this free roam policy. My ultimate goal is to just cut these guys out and not do their work, even though it's profitable and lucrative. It will be much more profitable and much more lucrative in the long term putting these guys in this free roam policy so that they can reach this optimal performance level so that we can create a bunch more of these softwares here that we can take to market just like we have these guys and start to collect residual income. And I have no issue whatsoever sharing that equally to everybody that helps and everybody that invests and supports in the dream. Now you can think of it as an investment, but it's not really an investment because, like I said, I'm going to out of the box. I'm going to give you what is worth a lot more than $100. So I'm going to literally essentially give you already about $500 worth of software that if you go in and buy like any of my other users, then you're actually going to end up paying over $500 a month for it. So I'm going to give you that as part of your actual investment. And like I said, the rest of your investment is going to be, you could essentially consume this, but I don't want you to consume this. What you're going to do is you're going to invest and have these developers in a free roam policy, and everything that we build, I showed you how much time we have to build. You're giving us now 63,000 hours that we can actually create. You've literally essentially funded 38 years of software development with your guys' help. Your contribution would end up being $1,200 over a year, right? You're going to pay this monthly, so your contribution is $1,200. And with that contribution, you're allowing the funding of essentially 38 years of software development in 1 year. You can already see some of the fucking huge potential that we built in software already, all of which that has users and has residual income that you're also going to get to share in as soon as I can get these 300 guys or girls or transgenders. So like I said, if you're one of them motherfuckers, let me know. If you're not one of them motherfuckers, because you're not a motherfucker, but you're one of those people, also let me know. I will apologize for saying motherfucker if it offended you, and then we'll do business together. If you're not any of them motherfuckers, but you know them motherfuckers, then let those guys know and give me a forewarning if they don't like the word motherfucker, because then I won't be saying it when I'm talking to them. And then you can help me with that. So hopefully now you're understanding what that is, and that is essentially the free roam policy. I really need help with it. So if you guys could help me out, man, I just need 300 people. I know there's like a couple billion people on Facebook, so you can either help me out by liking this post, commenting on this post, sharing this post, or signing up, contacting me and saying, hey, John, I want in on this free roam policy, and then we'll talk about that, and I'll let you know how you can actually sign up and get started on that.